Good morning again. Good morning for the 8th time. This is lesson 8 of 8. This one's going to be more talk. I hope so. I hope it's going to be some talk. Let's just do what we always do. Let's turn off the mobile phones, get them all switched off. It's all ready to go. You may want a notepad today. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen other than that we're going to do a practice right now, as we always do. So let's just do that. Let's do a little pause practice. Get ourselves perhaps in the mood a little bit here. If you're joining us for the first time, this might seem a little strange unless you've done meditation before, but I'll take you through it as though you're doing it for the first time. So just get your feet nice and flat on the floor, first of all. Get your feet so you can feel that sensation of your toes on the floor. And get your hands and put your hands on your thighs. What you're going to do is you're going to use your physiology as a point of focus. So sense that feeling of your hands on your thighs, and perhaps even give your bum on the seat a bit of a wiggle as well, so you can feel that sensation. What you're doing is you're keying yourself into your body. You're going to use your body as an object of focus. Close your eyes down. You can meditate with your eyes open, but it's much easier to do with your eyes closed because your eyes contain so much information. So let your eyes close down and let your focus, while you're closing your eyes, let your focus again become internal. Allow yourself to kind of focus yourself into your physiology a little bit. And breathe in through your nose. The reason we breathe in through our nose is there's a nerve in our nose that's connected directly with our heart. So it's the easiest way to become instantly physiologically aware of your breathing. So just allow yourself to breathe. Allow your breathing to do its job. You'll find that in this seated position, you really don't need that much breath at all. You hardly need any oxygen, in fact. So just allow your breath to naturally lengthen and to naturally deepen and to naturally flow. And while you're doing that, really observe the air entering the boundaries of your body. Really, in your mind's eye, just picture it coming into the boundaries of your body and slowly exiting the boundaries of your body, and really just watch its rhythm, if you like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a little bit of a challenge for you. Paradoxically, the challenge is easier to do the less hard you try to do it. I'm going to ask you, see if you can focus on your breathing for 60 seconds. And now what might happen is you might get distracted. You might get an urge to giggle, or you might hear a sound inside the room or outside the room, or you might get a thought or a memory or a feeling or a pain in the body or any number of things. The trick is not to fight that distraction. You simply allow yourself to be distracted long enough for you to note what you're being distracted by. And then once you've noted what you're being distracted by, you bring all of your cognitive awareness, all of your attention back to your breathing. And remember what I said in one of the earlier lessons, that it is a myth that meditation is this constant state of singular focus. Meditation is also bringing your focus back. So really remember that, because there's no such thing as a fail. So I want you now just to, I'll time 60 seconds and I'll do it with you. Just see if you can allow all of your attention and all of your focus to be maintained on your breathing. And if you do get distracted, allow yourself to get distracted. Make a note of what you're being distracted by, and simply bring all of your attention and all of your awareness back to your breathing. So here we go. I'll time 60 seconds and we'll do it together. Here we go. Okay, so if you could simply allow yourself to come back to clock time, you can maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, you can come back quick, you can come back slow, allow your eyes to open and sort of bring yourself back. And there are probably three kinds of people out there at the moment who experienced that. There were some who found their minds impossibly busy. Don't worry, if that was you, that's fine. The fact that you did it is a success. There are those who actually found it rather simple and were able to clear their heads, and then there are all those in between who were able to sort of get distracted and then bring their focus back. Whichever group you fall into, you will have witnessed your thoughts being somewhat abstract from yourself, and that in itself is the first step really onto the road of mindfulness and mindfulness practice. And that which is we're one of the only species on the planet who views our thoughts in that way, and that's one of the things we use in mindfulness to help us with things like stress and challenges and all those sorts of things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just literally throw this out to you guys and see if anyone wants to ask any questions. And all you have to do is put your hand up. Now, I don't know how many of you know how to put your hand up, but there's a little button where you literally virtually put your hand up. And once you put your hand up, I can make your mic go live, and then you can ask a question or you can give some feedback, or you can do anything you like. Now, if no one does this, I'm just going to sit here and talk for 10 minutes. I'm going to summarize what we did in the lessons. So I'm really hoping that maybe someone wants to say something. So I've got a list of attendees in front of me. I can see you guys are all there. So don't be shy. Put your hand up anytime and feel free to ask me any question you like, whatever's popped into your head or something you may have been thinking over the last 8 weeks, or some feedback or something we can improve. Whatever you want is totally fine. I'm going to keep looking, and your job is to basically stop me from talking now, because I'm going to basically fill the air with what we covered in the first 7 lessons, and I'm hoping that one of you guys interrupts me and puts your hand up and asks me a question, okay? So the first lesson we did was all about the history of mindfulness. I talked about John Kabat-Zinn. I talked about the University of Massachusetts. And I talked about why we're talking about mindfulness in the West, really. Because we've got this enormous weight of medical science that's occurred over the last 35 years, since 1979, and that's why we're, because in the West we tend to have to be beaten over the head with a textbook before we'll accept something. So that's actually what has happened. We've had that, and so that was lesson 1. It was all about the history of mindfulness, and to some extent why we practice it as well. We practice it in business because it helps us with stress, business stress, but it also helps our focus as well. It helps us maintain a sort of monotasking ability and the ability to not be distracted. It's also very good for challenges. What you get when you practice mindfulness a lot is you get this ability to have a much more rounded, more contemplative reaction to a challenge. In fact, it becomes less of a reaction, it becomes more of an action, sort of contemplate and act. That too is also very useful in business. Lesson 2, come on guys, ask a question, I'm dying to hear from you, was all about the 7 tenets of mindfulness. It was all about those 7 words that we discussed. Words like letting go, which is a very important one. Words like trust, words like patience, words like the beginner's mind. We often use that, the beginner's mind. Words like non-judgment, words like non-striving, and then words like attention and awareness, and to some extent acceptance. Okay, awesome. I've got Lauren with a question. All right, Lauren, I'm going to try and make you live so I can hear you. So Lauren, can you hear me? If you can hear me for some reason... Hello, Lauren. Okay, awesome. I can hear you. Great. Finally, that's really cool. I'm glad you stopped me talking. So talk to me. Okay, that's a really, really good question. I come up up against that all the time. The thing is about skeptics is they, like everybody else, they're also individual. So there are hundreds of different kinds of skeptics. What works for one skeptic won't work for another skeptic. Usually the science is good. That's a good place to start. You can literally bury people in science. You can give them a neuroplasticity lesson. You can give them neuroscience lessons. You can talk to them about the triune brain, and you can do that. And I will, regarding your question specifically, when I send the emails after this, I'll give you a couple of links to stuff that we use and stuff that I use. The other thing that works for some skeptics is sports people. I mean, I don't want to kind of sound boys, not always, but girls too, but boys quite often respond to that very famous video of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is the most decorated athlete of all time. He's one of the most decorated athletes in the world. He's a bit like Magic Johnson. He's a sort of modern version of Magic Johnson. And he's got a really nice clip, it's about 18 seconds long, where he just talks about meditating. And it's very simple, and it's very straightforward. It's completely unpretentious, and it's one of those things that's quite good for people who like sports, so you can hit them with sports. So my answer is, it really depends on the skeptic. The science definitely is good. The sports people definitely is good too. Also, I find that most skeptics will try it once. They'll give it a try once. So if you can literally get them to try and sit down and focus on their breathing once, you'll get a few of them that way, because they'll be like, oh, that was quite relaxing. What happened there? So there is that too. So multiple answers to it, and what I'll do is I'll try and gather some links together. And brilliant question, Lauren. Thank you very much for that question. That's really awesome. Cool. So look, I'm gonna keep talking. Lauren, I'm going to mute you. Don't take offence to that, and I'm going to put your hand down. But you can put your hand up again if you need to say anything. Just do so, okay? So look, I'm going to go back to what I was talking about before. Please feel free to interrupt me again. We've only got 2 or 3 minutes, but do feel free to do so. I think probably, seeing as how we've only got 3 minutes, I just want to squeeze routine in. We did that in lesson 4. The best way to get the benefits of mindfulness is, as a lot of you will know, is to have a daily practice. That means unless you're recovering from serious illness or a serious mental health issue, it means between 4 to 16 minutes a day, between 5 to 6 days a week. So it can be quite minimal, but the way to do it is to put it into your routine, so it really is a part of your routine. And I had a student the other day, they said they hated the routine. And I said that, well, quite right, the routine. I hated the routine too. However, routine is a wonderful thing in a way, because your life unfolds moment by moment. Your days are different. They may seem sometimes like they're very similar, but they are all different. They are different. If your morning routine is quite similar, even your morning routine will be slightly different every day, but if your morning routine is a routine, it has become a routine, what it does is it enables you to see how vastly different actually each day really is. So I wouldn't rail against routine so much. Routine, it can be a meditative practice in itself, and it is. And your meditation can be in your routine. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I'm in practice from the moment I walk up until the moment I leave the door. Sometimes I'm in practice which I wouldn't recommend unless you're quite experienced. Sometimes I'm in practice when I'm cycling, so there's that too. So don't knock the routine too much, and do absorb your practice into your routine, because that's the best way to make sure it happens every day, because it actually just becomes part of the routine of brushing your teeth or whatever, your morning routine. So that's good. So look, okay, as usual, we've run out of time. Lauren, thank you so much for giving me your question. That's really brilliant. I'll follow that up in more detail when I send out the emails. These sessions are so short that I desperately want them to be longer, but I know you guys are busy in your business and everything, so I'm going to let you go. Do stay in touch with me. I'm really easy to get hold of. Always happy to talk. In fact, if anything, I'm verbose. What you have to do is get me to stop talking. So thank you very, very much, all of you, for coming. Thank you very, very much, all of those of you who took all the lessons. We will do another free 15-minute series of lessons next year. We'll do like an 8-week sessions again. We might do them multiple times during the week as well. We're just working out the ins and outs of that. And again, thank you. I'm going to stop talking. Have a great day. It's Wednesday. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Have a fantastic rest of the week. And enjoy the rest of December, however it unfolds for you. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.